Hello and welcome, dear viewers. We are with one more presentation. It's for class 7th, subject geography. The topic is changing landforms. In this presentation, we'll be talking about how landforms are created and what are the forces responsible for the formation of landforms. So let's have it. Landform formation. If we talk of landform formation, we have to talk of earth movements because there are two types of forces responsible for the formation of different landforms, or we can say physiographic units. Those are the processes which are operating from within the earth called as endogenic processes, and the processes which are operating on the surface of earth called as exogenic processes. As we all know that about 29% of earth's total area is land. I said earlier, the land is that portion of earth which is exposed and above water. Landsphere or lithosphere is the solid crust or the hot top layer of the earth. The lithosphere is broken down into a number of plates known as lithospheric plates or tectonic plates. I'll repeat once again that these plates are formed from a single unit landmass which was called as Pangaea. Since these plates were formed by the endogenetic process, by the endogenetic movement, and there is that's continuously operating from within the earth, that's why these plates are not static. That's why these are called as tectonic plates or moving plates. The movement of these plates causes change on the surface of the earth. I said, let me once again tell you that the plates are coming close to each other, going away from each other, or kissing each other, passing close, sliding each other. With these three movements, what's called as convergence, divergence, and conservative movement, different landform formation is seen on the surface of Earth. And we must know the forces that act in the interior of the Earth are called as endogenetic forces, means the forces which operate from within the earth. What is the source of that force? In previous presentation we said that there are convectional current cells created because of huge accumulation of heat, and those convectional current cells are pushing the above lying crust, thereby creating different types of moments in the plates, while the force that work on the surface of earth is called exogenetic force. Means with endogenetic forces, the landforms which are created are now exposed to outside, are now exposed to external forces, and those external forces have their energy in different agents of gradation. So let's have a clear look of endogenetic forces sometimes produce sudden movements like earthquakes and volcanoes, which cause most destruction over the surface of the earth, while as exogenic forces shape landscape in addition to destructive characteristic features. Dear viewers, let's have a look at this picture. This picture clearly shows the eruption of volcano. We know that if we are asked about what is a volcano, volcano is a vent or opening. I repeat, volcano is a vent or opening through which magma comes out. The material which was lying within the earth in the upper mantle asthenosphere comes out through volcano, and that material, it was magma there. When it comes out on the surface and is called as lava. Depending upon the viscosity of that material which was lying within the earth, that molten material, it can give birth to different landform features, If it is viscous, having more viscosity, it can lead to the formation of what are called as mountains, volcanic mountains. If the viscosity is less, the material spreads and will give rise to the formation of lava sheets. Means now the material has come out. It's now exposed to external processes. Those external processes take their shape in the form of weathering and erosion. What is weathering and what is erosion? What these two processes do with the existing landforms, let's have a look. First, let's have a brief account of what volcanoes and earthquakes are. Volcano is a vent or opening in the earth's crust through which molten material erupts suddenly and forms either lava sheets or lava mountains. The vibration in the plates of earth is called an earthquake. I repeat, vibrations in the plates of earth is called earthquake. The places in the earth's crust where the movement start is called focus. Means the source from where the movement starts is called focus. And the place on the surface of earth above focus is called epicenter. Means the place of origin of earthquake is called focus, where it's exposed on the surface of earth is called epicenter. Earthquakes and volcanoes together form the endogenic force of the action. Force of action, as I said earlier. It is because of that endogenic forces different types of landforms are created. These moments cause plate movements, and resultant energy is seen in mountain building or subduction. What subduction means? When oceanic plate collides against continental plate. Oceanic plate is mostly of rocks, and in continental plate we have soil. Means the material is not so dense as we see in oceanic plate. That's why this oceanic plate intrudes the continental plate, that zone where one plate subducts the other, that's called zone of subduction. So we came to know how different movements operate and give birth to different landforms. Now, major landforms. A landform refers to any feature of the Earth's surface that possess a particular shape and a form. The surface of Earth is not uniform. It has infinite variety of landforms. A group of landforms is called a landscape. Landscapes are continuously worn away by two forces. One is weathering and the other is erosion. Weathering means breakdown of rocks on the Earth's surface. The rock is broken under the impact of physical processes, chemical processes and biological processes. राख का टूट जाना weathering कहलाता है. Now that weathered material remains there until one more force comes to action, that's called erosion. Erosion means wearing away of the landscape by different agents, that is water, wind, ice, sea waves, and most important anthropogenic activities means activities of human beings. Now let us see how different agents play their part in shaping the landforms. Let's first talk of the work of a river. When a river tumbles at a steep angle over hard rock or down a steep valley side, it forms a waterfall. Let me tell you here. We know that this lithosphere means top layer of earth is composed of different rocks. Some rocks are hard and some rocks are soft. Hard rocks are eroded at less speed, whereas softer rocks are eroded at higher speeds, at fast speed. When in a stratum means different layers of rocks. We have hard rock and soft rock. Soft rock is worn out fast and hard rock remains there. There is a gradient created and water falls from a considerable height that is called as waterfall. As river enters a plain, it twists and turns, forming large beds called meanders. Meanders, and there's a process called as meandering, means zigzag movement of a river. Every loop of that meandering is called a meander. At any point of time, the meander loop cuts off from the river and gives birth to a new, uh, landform feature that's called Oxbow Lake. During flooding, the river deposits layers of fine soil and other material called as sediments along its banks. This leads to the formation of fertile plain called floodplain. The raised banks of rocks along the river are called as levees. Now, in this picture, we will clearly understand how a river works. This is the upper course of a river. In upper course of river, the river traverses through steep slopes. When river traverses through steep slopes, means the waters of river will be moving at a faster speed. So, in upper course of river, they will be doing more erosion. Means river water is moving fast, and in this part of the river, it is having more erosive power as compared to other two stages, that is middle stage. In upper stage, the river having high speed will carry sediment load of bigger size. When it comes down, there is decrease in speed. There will be also addition of discharge capacity. Discharge capacity means the total water which a river can carry is considered to be the discharge capacity of the river. Here, there is decrease in speed, so at the same time, the energy will be less. So, sediment load, the size of sediment will also be less. Coming to the third stage, that is in plain stage, river is almost slow, so its sediment load is also a fine material. That's what's called as grading. यहाँ पे बड़े बड़े पत्थर हमें देखने को मिलते हैं. जितना रिवर स्लोप से नीचे नीचे आता है, यानी ढलान उसकी कम हो जाती है, अब प्लेन एरिया में ये एंटर होता है, उसकी डिस्चार्ज कैपेसिटी तो होती ही होती, जितनी भी है वो रहती ही है, लेकिन स्पीड कम होने की वजह से इसकी एनर्जी कम होती है, इसकी सलाहियत कम होती है, अभी अपने साथ ज़्यादा हैवी मटेरियल कैरी नहीं कर पाता है. तो with the decrease in steep this slope, there is also decrease in the size of sediment load. And the place where a river enters a large water body, that's ocean, that's called mouth of the river. At mouth of river, there is one important deposition of sediments, that's called delta. Since water of oceans seems to be stagnant, it's almost stagnant, and water of river is moving. When moving water enters the stagnant water, its speed is checked over here. That's why deposition takes place, and waters will diverge in two directions, this direction and this direction. So the deposition at the mouth of river will be of triangular shape, that's called as delta. Here, if we talk of Oxbow Lake, there is deposition of river when it traverses in its course in the inner side of the slope. When deposition continues means this loop will just get cut off from this main course of a river, means this river will join, its loop will be joined over here, and this loop will be separated. This is called as Oxbow Lake. When river is in floods, it deposits large amount of sediments along its banks. Large amount of sediments along its banks, and that sediment load in the lower course of a river is called as flood plain. This was all about action of river and how landforms are formed by different agents of gradation. We talk about a river. Now we have assessment. What are the two forces responsible for the formation of landforms? What is a landscape? What is volcano? What is an earthquake? How are waterfalls formed? What's Oxbow Lake? Write short notes on floodplain, levees, deltas, tributaries, meandering, and three states of a river. This was all about this presentation. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for more videos. Stay safe, stay blessed.